So what do we mean by SEO foundations in 2021? Well, if you're a locally owned and operated business and you have a business address, or if you're a service provider that services clients at their location, you have to make sure that you have these 4 or 5 basics down so that you can make the most out of search engine optimization in 2021. For new customers or your existing customers, you want to follow these steps next. Okay, we're gonna run through some very quick steps here. We're gonna have a longer overview in another video, but start off with what is your business name, what industry are you in, and what major calls to action are you gonna have? What are the things that are gonna draw those customers in? A special discount or some sort of incentive to get them to pay attention if they've never heard of you before. Now, once you got that down, you're gonna have to consider where is your business home online? Meaning, for most people, it's a website. So I love having a website as the primary place that people and customers can interact with your business, learn about your business, take you up on any specials, offers, or incentives, or hear about some current events, news that you want to let them know about. Now, I have heard about small businesses using social media account as their primary place, but I think a website is way more flexible for your needs. Now, a website is the place where your business resides. This is the place that not only you can get found for your business name, but you can also get found primarily for your products and services here too. It can serve as a brochure for you. It can also serve as a place that you have specials, discounts, coupons, and it can also serve as what we call a funnel. That's a place that you can give away something as a lead generation, whether it's a how-to, a tip or a trick, or some special coupon that someone has to give you their name, address, phone number, email, whatever it may be, and you can funnel them in by collecting that information now and market to them later. And it's also a place that your content can reside. Content marketing is one of the most important things that a small business can do right now to be fresh in the search engine optimization algorithms and to put out video, audio, or blog contents to make sure that people can keep up to date with what they're trying to give them. Now, the next major one is social media. You have to have a social media presence of some sort, even if at the minimum, it's just for the SEO foundations portion. Now, social media accounts, some of the main ones you should consider being on are things like Facebook, Instagram, things like Twitter, LinkedIn. All of those are very popular places that people are used to interacting and getting information about businesses in their local market. Now, at the very minimum, you should have a Facebook business page, and you should also have something like a LinkedIn business page, and you definitely want to have a Google My Business, but we'll get more into Google properties later. And then from there, you can branch off to have your Instagram account, you can do Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, you can have a podcast, you can do a number of other things that we'll talk about later. At the very minimum, have a few social media accounts that you can put out information to update customers and clients about what you have going on, or if somebody finds you for the first time, a new client, they can kind of do a search and figure out if you're a legitimate business, and they feel better if they see you have fresh content. Now, on those social media accounts, you're going to want to make sure you have your name, address, phone number, the URL to your website, all correct, because that's important in your SEO foundation. Number 3, one of the major items there is what we call citations or business listings. You're going to know them by maybe thinking of them as a yellow page listing. It's a place where your business name is, your address, your phone number. It's in a directory site of some sort. Well, there's dozens and hundreds of them right now, and most of them are free. A lot of them have upgrades that they want you to take them up on, but at the very minimum, they operate as a business directory that is listing your property. And for SEO foundations, that's something that the Google search algorithm and other search engines want to see. Once again, we're going to go back to having your name, address, phone number, URL to your website, and a short or long description to your business ready, because that's what these citations are going to have as part of what you can fill in there. Now, 4th, you're going to want to think about content channels. We talked about it a little bit early on. Why is content so important now in 2021? Well, every business out there is doing at least some combination of website, social media. They're doing business listings or citations correctly. You want to make sure that you are giving yourself the best opportunity for customers to interact, engage, and get to know, like, and trust you. And there's no better way to do that right now than content. So what do we mean by content? We mean things like video, we mean things like audio, we mean things like text content or social media content out there. Now, depending on what kind of business owner you are, or the skills that you have, or people on your team, you're going to want to pick one of these content angles, whether it's video, audio like a podcast, or doing social media accounts or written blog posts, so that you can get fresh content out there, and customers that already know, like, and trust you get updates on what you have going on, and potential new customers who've never seen or heard of you before can get information on what you do and who you are. Another great thing about content is that you can go back to social media accounts and your website and embed those pieces of content as permanent fixtures on those locations. And it's excellent for SEO as well. Now, the last one, and maybe one of the most important ones, is the Google universe of tools. Now, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about things like Google My Business Account, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, Google Sites, and Google Docs and their tools for administration as well. Now, let's start with Google My Business. If you're a locally owned and operated business and you have a business address and a retail location where customers come in and interact with your business, you need to have Google My Business. And even if you are a home-based business, but you service clients at their locations, like a carpet cleaner, a window cleaner, or any other number of businesses, that you can still utilize Google My Business. Now, why that's so important is that Google is the 800-pound gorilla in online search by customers. 75, 80, 95%, depending on the type of business and search, is done through Google. So if you're a local business, you need to be on Google and making them happy. Utilize their free tools. Google My Business, set your name, address, phone number, URL, description of your business, hours, what kind of payment method you take. There's a whole slew of options that you can put in there. They'll send a postcard to your location to verify you're a real business. Sometimes they'll do it by telephone as well. And then you're a verified Google business, and you can actually be found on the maps as well as organic search. From there, you want to make sure that you install Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Those are the ways that you can get reports on what's going on with your business and how many customers are visiting your site, what kind of searches they're doing to find you, and a number of other great tools and information that you can get from installing that. Google Search Console, same thing. It also gives you some great information on types of searches and a whole bunch other information that's very important too. Google Search Console is also very important, gives you a whole lot of information, and also helps validate you in Google's eyes. And the last couple of things are Google Sites. You can set up a Google site that is very good at SEO because Google likes itself. It likes its own products and services. So if you're utilizing a Google site, and even if you have a website already, Google Sites can then refer traffic to your website. And you can set up links on your Google site pages that actually go to the corresponding pages on your website. It's pretty good SEO, and it makes sense to Google. And Google Docs is another great way that you can store business information or information about your business in Google Docs. They have Excel type sheets. They have Word document type of sheets. They have a whole presentation. They have a lot of different tools back there. And if you start using that, Google loves itself, as I said before, so having business information in Google Docs that refers to other online properties of yours, whether it's your website, social media properties, business citations, if you keep those lists in there, there's some pretty good advanced SEO techniques that really come from that and lets Google know who you are even more. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about having good brand foundations or SEO business foundations. It's really about having the most amount of information out there on your business that you can so that you get found in search by existing customers or customers that know about you and they can find your business name online, and also for new customers to find you for your products and services that you're offering in your local market. We're going to have more tutorials up and a little bit more in-depth analysis on how to use these tools and some tips and tricks coming up soon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, Small Business Saturday.